Gaffer, you had a chance to break down Saturday's game with the lads?
Yeah, you know, you do it with a team, you do it with the staff Saturday night, Sunday, and we debriefed the lads, you know, on Monday, and we had a great chat about, you know, the work we'd done during pre-season and how that didn't transpire in the game. And you know, I think you can focus too much because at times it's a local derby, you know, and you can focus on that and almost think, oh, do you have to rip up and start again? But a lot of the work we've done pre-season, you know, it's been fantastic, and the start we've had's been good. So we've got to make slight adjustments. The players know that, and they're aware of that. You know, lads put their hand up, and which is always important, and took responsibility. We took responsibility for the, you know, what we didn't do right on the day, and that's what the club's about, you know, trying to take that responsibility and say just move on. So we've had a really good training week. Got a double session in yesterday that was fantastic. You know, in looking forward to the Walsall game. So I think I said it last year, you know, you don't get too high when you win and you don't get too low when you lose, but certainly, you know, you've got to keep making them improvements, and we've been trying to do that this week.
When you get a performance like that, what's the immediate reaction straight after the game? Is it one of anger, frustration, or is it just the want to know why?
Angry's just an emotion that, you know, you don't get anything from, you know. So yeah, as a player I was angry, and when I was younger I was angry, but you know, I've learned to control that and understand it, and you're controlling people around you. You know, there's anger from everywhere. You know, like I said, when you get beat in a local derby and everyone's frustrated, everyone's lost. It's a loss by, you know, the supporters feel it, the staff feel it, everyone feels it. So then, you know, as a leader, you've got to try and manage that and make sure that the great thing in football is that you've got an opportunity the week after, and sometimes sooner if you get a Tuesday game, to put it right and show that hurt, that you can take it into, you know, your next week's work.
Is this the best place to put it right, or is it the next game?
Oh, it's always the next game, but I think what you do in preparation for that next game is absolutely vital, you know. And you look at Gillingham, who got, you know, absolutely smoked, you know, 5-0, but then they regrouped and had a fantastic result in the cup. So I listened to a lot of what Jurgen Klopp had said as well, you know, that we don't have to rip up and start again. We're a good team. We've been working on it, and they had 80% possession, and you know, Burnley beat them. You know, and I think he got mauled by the press, but you know, they've been working on certain things. They've been working on recruitment, and he knows over the season they'll get it right. And you know, we certainly believe that the decisions we've made, you know, will see us prosper this season.
You lost Kelvin early on Saturday. How is he? Is he going to make the weekend?
He's got a good chance. Yeah, he's reacted to treatment really well. You know, in the way we split the week, he should certainly train with us. You know, on Friday. You know, but we'll see how that progresses as the week continues.
What about under injuries, Nathan and Chris Brown for one?
We've got to get more work done on Chris Brown in terms of getting an exploratory. He's had a scan, and it's probably not shown up what we want it to show up. So we've got an exploratory on that one booked in for next week. That'll just go a bit more insight. Sometimes the scans don't give you the full picture, you know. So you know, we'll have a look at that, and we'll know more detail on that probably the back end of next week. You know, Nathan's knocks just settling down. I'm hoping that he's going to be training towards the back end of the week. You know, but I've no guarantee. He's just waiting for the injury, and we're treating the symptoms at the minute, you know, to hopefully, you know, the knee will settle down.
You got a week left with the window. Any activity in or out?
I think the ins are key. You know, I do think I mentioned on Saturday, and I think it's really important. The work we've been doing on the phones, every manager, the window has took the lack of flexibility has took every manager by surprise, and I think it's not going to help the English system. It's not, because, you know, there's a certain player that I'm thinking of that I've went for, and the manager's saying he's not going to play for the next 6 months, you know, in the Championship. He knows that. Would he make 20 games for us this season? Yes. You know, from now till January, and he's an English player, and he's not going to get them games at his club, but the manager's thinking, well, if I do release him, I've no way of a recall, so you know he's almost stuck, and I can't get him back, and I'm short on numbers. So every manager's feeling it. It's new to us all, not having that flexibility, and it's new for players because you know they've got to make decisions based on the next 6 months. Usually, dead easy for a player because if he doesn't like it after a month, he can go back to his parent club, and if things haven't worked out, but he's making a judgment call on his future over a longer period. And if it's a season-long loan, obviously you're fully locked into it. So it is managers, as you speak to them. You know, I always go manager to manager. You know, if I want a player, I'll always swing the manager up and get his thoughts and see where he's at. So you know, over the last 6 weeks, really, you've been dealing with managers who are not sure how it's going to unfold. But the last 2 weeks, it's been strained because everyone's probably over-covering themselves. You know, we need 2 more numbers than what we had last season for sure. I think the best clubs who's done it have probably planned for it in over a 5-year period and got the youth system to such a point that they can really rely on the youth players. We're probably 18 months behind that, and I think you know in 18 months behind we wouldn't have the problem because you know we've got a pipeline of players coming through that would not just sit on the bench. You know, would be able to perform at a good level in League One.
Are you sitting down now with this change in rules thinking next season I need a bigger squad?
No, I'm not looking that far. You're looking towards getting the window right now and potentially what it could look like in January, yeah. So you're making judgment calls on that. But no, certainly that's going to develop. You know, we've got fantastic kids coming through, and they're just not ready yet. They're just not ready. So in a year's time, will they look a bit different? Yeah, they will. But development's time, and like I keep saying, you know, as what we believe, you're bringing in a better standard of a player and a different profile of a player. Then you know there is going to be a diversity in what you've already got to where you're trying to go to, and that's something that you know we're always measuring. And you know, 3 years ago, if we're in League Two, would Duds be playing now, and Burge probably, but we're not. League One's progressed again for sure. The Championship's progressed again. League One's progressed again, and that development's about catch up. It's about patience, and you know we've been quite patient with it, but it's just going to take a bit longer, and that's where we'll get the volume of players from. You know, as it unfolds, as the impact of not having a transfer window unfolds, and you know maybe in 2 years' time, that's when League Two and League One will be playing more of their own. You know, but don't forget when I come in, we took over an academy system that had completely failed for 6 or 7 years. You know what Kiddo and Mark Litherland and the club's done is phenomenal work. The progress we've made at all levels, and you know, so I'm excited about that, but it's not for the here and now.